we never did the 250 sub special.
So we should do a 360.
So we do a 420 special where we all travel to Colorado and get high.
I mean, we
that's
could do
on
that.
the podcast now.
Hello
shit.
and welcome to the podcast, everybody. Oh, the stream tweet's not working. I want to do it manually. It's okay. Vamp for me. I'll do it manually.
We are fighting.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Well, we're demonetized now.
Y'all seen
Not
that,
like
right?
we were
I have,
monetized
yeah.
before.
Yeah. I mean, some videos are.
Bill O'Reilly thing.
Yeah, I have. Andrew's sleepy, by the way, for anybody that's here while I'm sending this out. If you're wondering where his blasé attitude has come from today.
For some reason, you're super duper robotic-y for me.
That
You're
is
right.
because I am sending the tweet right now.
Pop out the chat. Pop out the chat. Pop out.
I guess I'll start my week.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to do it quickly.
Y'all heard of a little game called Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission?
Yes, I have actually. Did you play it?
I didn't play that shit.
I didn't either.
Too busy playing good games.
I'm glad that this is the demonetized podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
Change our
it
name
already
to-
is.
We should change our name to the demonetized podcast.
To keep your money cat.
All right, I sent it from the wrong. Oh, it's fine. I can retweet it. I sent it from my Twitter, not thinking. It's okay. I can
That's
retweet
okay.
it.
I will also retweet it.
Thank you.
I will retweet it too. Hold on.
Thank you. I appreciate
Breaking
that.
news.
Andrew used his Twitter.
I'm not retweeting it.
Wow.
All right.
When
Well,
the Game of Thrones episode title change, is that going to be a spoiler for me?
no, because I'm not going to say what the new title is. I'll say what the old non-spoiler title was.
That's that chat.
It's going to be real funny. So trust me. So yeah, while I try and get this retweeted on the channel side, hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I'm Andrew and I'm tired,
And I'm Pattrick.
but I have a Red Bull.
I believe you'll gradually wake
Oh.
up over the course of the podcast.
Sponsorship.
I wish we were sponsored by Red Bull. That's some good money right there.
You know it.
All right. Well, normally Andrew starts us off, so
Oh yeah. All right. Hold on.
I'm out of sorts. I took a week off and I don't remember how to run a podcast. It's not true. I don't know.
Well, this is episode 2 of the Sportscast. So
Oh. Also, chat, let me know how my audio is. My mic has been moved to right here because there were some complaints about people not being able to hear me and my words getting cut off. And now I can lean in real close and give you some ASMR.
You're
So,
still really
you know.
robotic for me.
hold on.
It might be me. I might have to leave.
It might be you because it's you guys sound fine to me.
No, you're a robot to me too.
All right, let me try closing
Now you're
Firefox
good.
now. Am I?
Yeah.
Just keep talking exactly the same and don't change it.
That's really weird.
No, you fucked.
Okay, that should fix it, hopefully.
We'll-
Okay, so, Andrew, how was your week?
It's fun. Played some video games,
Yeah?
but nobody wants to hear about that. You know what people do want to hear about, Trey?
What's that?
Do you know?
You cut off
People
from
want to hear about. People want to hear about the 2013 Smash Cinema hit World War Z, starring Brad Pitt.
I have heard
56%
surprising things about this.
on Rotten Tomatoes.
I watched that movie.
I watched this movie as well. Who didn't? I mean, it's a masterpiece.
I would have been safe in that movie.
Why? Because you're. Never mind.
Because of my lungs.
How does that make you
Not on my
stay?
side.
What'd you say, Pat?
It's definitely not on my side. I don't know why both of y'all are robotic to me.
It's really weird. Maybe it's a Discord problem today.
Maybe.
What do you mean your lung? You would be safe because of your lungs?
I don't want to spoil the movie, but do you remember in the World War Z movie? All right, spoiler hands. For the World War Z movie, a movie we've all edge of our seats, can't spoil that movie for anybody.
I've never seen it.
Oh, Pat, take your headphones
Oh,
off. And if you don't want to hear the spoilers,
say that.
if
I don't watch movies.
in that movie the zombies refuse to eat people that are sick, they go around people that are sick and don't eat them, that have like terminal diseases and are going to die anyway. So I would be safe because I have chronic asthma.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
So what if I get a cold?
That cold doesn't count because you're not going to die from that cold.
You can die from a cold.
You can, but you're not going to die from a common cold.
What you're saying is the zombies are smart enough and
They
have the
smell
ability-
it.
So with nothing but their scent, they can do what doctors nowadays can't and determine if someone is going to die or not.
I didn't write the movie, okay?
So,
but yes.
Well, this movie where the world is run by the infected.
Yes, who can tell you, look, you got a chronic disease, you're not making it.
Actually, hold on. Smells like prostate cancer.
Ah!
Get that fixed up for you.
So yeah,
Wow.
that's a movie.
Yeah. Moving on.
Wow.
How about y'all's weeks?
That's not all you did in your week.
Okay, so if you would have told me, whenever the book released, not the movie, whenever the book released,
It's a
I don't
good
even know
book.
what it is. If you would have told me in 2019 they will release 6 years after the release of a movie for World War Z, they will release a video game that's Left 4 Dead, but with giant hordes in the World War Z universe, I would tell you that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, why would that ever happen?
Hey guys, that exact thing happened.
Is it good?
Dude, not only is it good, it's the game I am using Epic Launcher for. Of all games that I could have used it for, it's a World War Z game. Which marketing this as World War Z is the worst thing they could have done. Because, I mean, I guess the Horde is what it has in common.
Oh no, Steve.
But that is what the Horde, the swarms and everything is what makes this game. Where they're climbing on top of each other, trying to climb a wall, where they dynamically, if you're mowing them down, then the ones behind that zombie will trip and climb over the zombies that you shot that are on the ground and get back up and start running and all that jazz. There's like 6 classes in this game that the basic combat's the same. You know, you have a primary weapon, secondary weapon, and then you can get a heavy weapon. But the classes actually will change the way you play as you unlock skill points and build your. What happened?
Score's being weird.
What happened?
I think we're good though. Please continue. Skill points, classes.
Yeah, you can build your own class, and you level up weapons as you use them. Well, you level up the opportunity to buy the upgraded versions.
Yeah.
The in-game currency. There are 4 episodes. One, and this is another World War Z thing, globe trotting.
Yeah.
But you do play as you play as a different group of people in each city, and apparently when you beat the scenario with one of the characters, you unlock their like a backstory video.
Okay.
So I haven't checked that out yet, but I read that somewhere. But yeah, you go to New York, Jerusalem, Moscow, and Tokyo, and I think all of them except for Tokyo have 3 episodes each, maybe 4.
That's not bad.
So yeah, and they've already announced that they're working on free like update. Like they're gonna they already said they're gonna add an episode of Tokyo
Oh.
to like finish up the story, and then who knows what else. I'm assuming they're hopefully it gets off the ground enough for them to add whole new episodes.
Yeah.
But just like with Left 4 Dead and Vermintide 2 and all that kind of stuff, it's all about replaying the same maps, but harder, like gradually getting harder and harder difficulty.
I gotcha.
So
EDF style.
there's easy, normal, hard, very hard, and then I forget what the last one's called. But I have only beaten an episode on very hard. That's the farthest I've gotten.
Okay.
And if you get a good team of 4 working together, you can do it because there is stealth in this game. So everyone starts with a stealth silenced pistol, and you can unlock like my assault rifle that I start with that I unlock is silenced as well. But so you can take them out, and if you kill them quick enough, or if you just had the easiest thing is to headshot them, but I keep running into people who just try to mow them down.
Right.
You can stealth through entire sections of this game. Of course, then you have the one idiot on your team that runs in with a shotgun.
Of course.
Wakes everybody up. But it is just a ton of fun. On PC, it's only $35.
That's not bad at all.
It's $40, $5 more for whatever reason on console.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would have paid $60 for this because I feel like the content is there.
Yeah.
And I know I'm gonna keep playing it. Every time I try to play something else this past week, I'm just like, well, let me just play a little bit more World War Z.
Cool.
A lot of cool scenarios, a lot of cool stuff they do with the Horde. You have sections where, and these are like scripted sections that you have to do every time through that episode. But there are sections where you have to defend a spot.
Yeah.
He likes that. He likes hearing about
I'm
that.
buying this game right now.
Why? What made you do that?
I'm watching footage while listening to you
Yeah,
because
dude,
I
people
wanted
are
to
actually
see.
playing this game. Lyric was playing it earlier with 30,000 people watching it.
Cool.
Trey, you know how in like a real life scenario with zombies, like a horde of zombies, they're jumping off of something. They're not going to try to land on their feet. They're just going to jump and their bodies are going to hit the ground.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah, that's what they do in the movie too.
Also, if you blow up like the bottom part of the ladder that they're making, they all fall.
Yeah.
It's
They do that in the
like,
game too then? That's really cool.
The graphics aren't like the best.
Sometimes you'll have some stragglers that they won't typically move up the wall, but they'll just kind of like hold on.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting to with the defense scenarios. It always ends up you get to an area, you have to do something that makes a lot of noise, so you have to defend. And even though it's scripted that you're gonna get swarmed from multiple directions, what's not scripted is the defenses you have. Because when you're randomly placed around, auto turrets, mortars, mounted machine guns,
Love a good mortar.
stuff like that. That's like, and then you can't place it anywhere, but there's like highlighted spots where you can put it.
Right.
So there is some planning of like, okay, we only got one mounted machine gun, but we do have 3 automated turrets, so we gotta figure this out.
Right.
and that's always fun. Like for example, there's one where you're in the subway. You have to open up this giant door to let the subway come through.
Okay.
And as you do that, the zombies are just falling, just running in this giant swarm. And so if you the one of the most satisfying things I've ever experienced is being on a mountain machine gun in this game, seeing the swarm come and just and just seeing like giant holes, but they keep coming.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon to finish a map, and then when it comes to like the in-game screen, there's like 3,000 zombies, 4,000 zombies killed.
Wow.
I'm
gonna have to look up some footage because that sounds pretty good.
Thanks
for the follow, blessed be boy.
Interested in it. I told you I was interested in it before, like, because it was getting no press.
Yeah.
And I was into it, but I was like, I don't know. It looked so good, and then the review that sold me, Angry Centaur Gaming, ACG.
Yeah.
Y'all, I don't know if y'all heard of him or not.
Yeah.
Karak or Karak, I think is how you say it. I like his reviews a lot because he will ignore some of the technical, like if the graphics aren't as good type of situation. If the game's fun, he'll tell you like, hey, the soundtrack sucks, but then he goes on about how fun it is.
Yeah,
and that's what it's all about. If I play a masterpiece, like in audio design and graphics, it just not be fun. It's a bad game. It's meant to be fun.
Thanks for the host, blessed be boy. I actually think some games like get worse when the graphics go crazy. Like for example, where I'm gonna talk about Earth Defense Force Iron Raid in a little bit. Some of the charm is lost from the EDF series. It's like it's not the same, I think when you focus instead on the technical aspect and leave behind the gameplay, it definitely shows.
Yeah, that's exactly it, and he focuses a lot on this.
ACG like, does some really good reviews.
And so when I saw that, I was like, you know what? It's only $35, not 60. So if I don't like it.
Yeah,
not out that bad. And I looked it up. Epic Games Store has a refund policy like Steam.
Yeah, they added that in like 2 months ago.
What? Yeah. Hey, 2 months.
Hey, it's there now, though, right? That's what's important.
I shouldn't have to look it up because I looked it up because my thought was, do they have one of these? Everyone else has one of these. Do they have this yet?
Oh, man.
But, man, this is like the biggest surprise in a long time for me.
Yeah.
A World War Z game, branded game.
Hey, who knows, right? Transformers War for Cybertron was amazing.
Oh, War for Cybertron is so good.
And that was technically a tie-in to the movies and didn't have anything to do with them because they made their own story. But, like, hey.
Yeah.
You never know. Not everything's Iron Man, the video game.
Just saying, 85%. I will have that installed.
Is that what it's at? See, I have cared still a little about reviews. Once I saw that one review from somebody that I trust, I was like, okay. Because I already was into it anyways. I saw some bad reviews. I read like one like the really bad reviews. It was like a 4 out of 10. And they said that it feels like crap to control the characters and all that kind of stuff. And once I played the game, I'm like, what are you playing? It feels like the characters move like the Division, for example.
Yeah.
It just moves like a character. I mean, it's not a whole thing. I don't know what we're doing.
I really appreciate that, Pat, because I can't do that without killing the stream. So I appreciate you showing off some footage that way too.
Oh yeah, do it live.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, I wanted to play through the story through the episodes.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and it was a little harder to find group. I still found a group, but it was a little harder because most people just go in there and hit the quick play option. And now that I've played through all the stories,
Yeah.
I hit the quick play option.
Yeah.
And just throw me into something. I have had some times where, like, most of the groups I'm in are groups of 3.
Right.
I don't know what happened to the 4th person. There is an AI. The AI is actually good at killing people.
Okay.
It does not do any objectives.
That sounds about right.
But all the objectives are like, go grab this, go
Yeah.
do that. It doesn't do that. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
neither
like...
did Left 4 Dead AI,
and,
honestly.
and one of the best things about the AI, because something that annoys me in this game with people, is there are certain points where it'll pop up and say a symbol, and it needs the whole team there to continue on with the story.
Yeah.
And when you hit those symbol points, what happens is like a door will shut behind you, and it kind of acts like a reset. It's not a checkpoint. It's not a checkpoint. There's no checkpoint,
Right.
which may also helps with the difficulty. It makes it more difficult.
Yeah.
But you hit those points, and then you have that one person who's standing outside the room shooting zombies, and then they get taken down. And
Yeah.
no one's there to save them because we're all in the room
Yeah.
where we're supposed to be. You idiot!
It's the Left 4 Dead problem.
And I have in chat. I've been like, hey, come on! What are you doing? We're killing zombies. We got a whole rest of the level to do that. But yeah, it's just fun. It's just so much fun shooting all the zombies.
It sounds like
It's been a long time I played a really good zombie game. I'm going to play another one this week when Days Gone comes out.
Yeah.
So,
I'm probably going to wind up skipping Days Gone unless it winds up being really good. Because there's just too much to play.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for reviews, but it sounds like it's up my alley.
Yeah.
But moving on from that, I could talk about this game. I could talk about the scenarios, I could talk about the characters and their stories and all kinds of crap. This was the weekend of surprises for me. Because I bought Katana Zero.
So I want to hear about this game because I have not. I was planning on watching the Easy Allies review and I did not.
So, there's so much special in this game that I don't want to give too many details. But I went into this. Everyone was saying like a Hotline Miami, difficult, run-based action game, neo noir action game. I think the game is nothing like. I had a bug. Yeah.
It's not. It's not Hotline Miami meets Sekiro, which is all that I saw every time I tried to look up any information on the game. Hotline Miami meets Dark Souls. Hotline Miami meets Sekiro. Like,
no, it's not even hard.
So this is a complete side topic. Do we have to compare every game to other games? Can we not just talk about what a game does in and of itself? Can it not just stand on its own? Can a game not stand on its own legs and be sellable, please?
From now on, Trey, anytime a game story surprises me, I'm going to say this is the Katana Zero of whatever.
Oh, rant over. Please continue.
So the game's not. I don't know. The game is, I feel like, appropriately difficult. Where Hotline Miami, it's appropriate, but it really, the later stages really try you.
Yeah.
Test your patience. This game's not like that. I feel like it's the right level of difficulty. It does ramp up a little bit, and
okay,
you ramp up as you learn. And one thing, it's a couple small things, because you can slow down time in this game. 2D side scrolling, kill 'em all kind of game. You can slow down time. That's explained in the story, and when you die, you do the runs and you die over and over again. That's also explained in the story.
Yeah.
You see, you're not playing through and dying. You're planning out the mission.
Oh.
So, and you start a mission, I'm not gonna say anything name wise, but your guy puts his head down. You hear like a cassette player close, and he puts the earbud in, and it starts the music, and it pops up and it says like ready to plan or something like that. So when you beat a room and you go to the next room, it replays. You can skip it, but it replays. It says yes, that should work, and then it replays what you did as if that's you actually doing it that time.
Nice. That's really cool.
So it's small stuff like that. One thing I will say, I beat this game.
Okay.
I bought it on Friday. I beat it Saturday, or I beat it Sunday at like 2 in the morning.
Okay.
It's not long, but I feel like every penny I spent was worth it.
I'm at this
It's
point.
$15.
I'm at this point now after RDR2. Just make a good game. It doesn't need to be long. A small game is not a problem anymore.
That's what I'm saying. This game is amazing for the time. I won't say any time, but this game is amazing for the entire way through. It just gets better. It's the game where I want to say I came for the gameplay,
Yeah.
stayed for the story. It took me for a turn multiple times.
Should I was planning on streaming DS2 Mauler Rules tomorrow. Should I not stream Dark Souls 2 and stream Katana Zero instead? First impressions?
If you ever have time to play Katana Zero, play Katana.
Okay, so I should do that tomorrow instead.
It is so good.
Okay.
So good. You can reflect bullets back at people. There's some stuff I want to talk about that I just can't.
Okay.
Some stuff happens.
Why not
so
both?
good at the same time.
Just want to point out, chat is telling everybody Happy Easter. The Happy Easter chat as well.
Not Easter.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super stoked for that game. I really want to play it.
Also, don't y'all mean Happy Easter?
Pat, how's your week been?
It's been okay. The best thing that happened for me is I'm a fan of the Boston Celtics, and they swept the first round in the playoffs.
It
which
is
exciting.
Sportscast episode 2.
Yep.
Who did they beat?
They
I
beat
wasn't watching.
Indiana Pacers.
They started.
Yeah. So
In my
That was
NBA team
exciting.
opinion. So.
Andrew, your camera is freaking out like every once in a while. It's been moving, it's been turning green. I don't know what's going on.
What is going on? Hold on.
But please continue, Pat.
Oh, there we go. I'm gone. I'm gone completely.
Oh!
I unplugged it.
technical difficulties.
Please continue, Pat.
Yeah, so that was really exciting for me because I love watching my team win.
Andrew's a Green Lantern.
Check that.
Fanboy.
Oh man, I had something else I wanted to talk about.
Go for it.
Dang it.
Do it now while no one can see you.
Go watch Shazam.
Should I?
Oh, I heard it's really good.
Oh, it's so good. That's all I'm gonna say. Go
Okay.
watch it.
Okay,
It's worth it.
I'll watch it then.
Celtics suck.
Ow. Okay. You want to talk about your hockey team, friend? Okay, continuing on.
Oh, have you been following the NHL playoffs? Have you been following them?
Yeah, it's not going too well, everybody.
You hear me, Pat?
Yes, I heard you.
You've been following the NHL playoffs?
Yes, I said it's not going too well for you, buddy, is it?
It hurts.
Yeah.
I know what it's like. I feel for the Pacers in this moment. Yeah, let's see this works. I feel for the Pacers because the Penguins didn't get swept, but they got destroyed. They played the absolute dog shit. But the Stars are killing it.
Yes, they are.
That's my second team. Come on, work this time. Maybe next.
But yeah, so I did that. I watched those games, waiting for round two. Pretty excited. Probably gonna play the Bucks. Played Overwatch. I've been slowly climbing. Fanboy, I understand your pain. But I am an Indians fan, so go Cleveland.
They're called Native American.
I've been playing Overwatch.
Yeah.
I've been climbing slowly, doing pretty good. I'm having a lot of fun. The new skins are great. The story mode is pretty good. I'm ready for more when they eventually come out with more. And I like every now and then when I'm like kind of bored, I'll jump into a story map because they're pretty fun to play. The PvE. Welcome back. I wish y'all were in Overwatch, but I understand.
I wish Overwatch was into me.
It is. You just don't know yet.
It's not. If it was into me, it would have a full story mode, not episodes.
Oh, not every game needs to have a story mode.
That's
Not
true.
every game has to have a story mode, but if it was into me, it would.
Yeah, Artaka. So it has like story episodes basically. So it's a PvE map, and you and 3 other players, just complete like missions, basically like small like. It's basically like playing Overwatch against AI, because you have an idea like what would basically be a control the point, but you just go and defend at that point for a while until they run out of enemies, and then
So it's not like a.
It's not like a campaign.
It's not unique mission types for the missions.
Well, it sounds to me like it's just like the Halloween and the Blackwatch and the other events, except this time they're actually telling story in them.
yeah, it's kind of like that. Because like the newest one is a hybrid, so you go and you have to you make your way to the point by defeating the enemies, and then you have to hold the point while all these enemies keep coming in, and then you have to move the payload to the destination. But it's a really good one. I like it a lot. It's a lot of fun for me. And the story is pretty interesting. It just kind of shows you like back a little bit of backstory from different characters, and I love that they let you like they have like the ones that it was obviously made for, and you can play with any hero you want. I like that because you see some like really interesting like 4-man teams that come out of it.
It's cool.
And yeah.
I mean, he's not wrong. I wasn't gonna say
like
it,
but
he's
still
not
like
wrong.
But you're not wrong.
What?
Artaka said he likes how this came out 4 years late.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's a lot of fun, in my opinion.
Artaka,
I play comp.
they have to do it that way though because people had stopped talking about Overwatch. So by adding this back in now, 4 years after launch, now they can rebuild people talking about Overwatch again. They'll do it again 4 years from now. Don't worry.
I feel like the big
Overwatch
issue I've noticed, like the big issue for me with FPS games now, is that I need to play competitively. Because, like, well, for example, we played TF2 today, which was a headache.
Literally was a headache. I had to go out to the car and get some Advil.
I feel like I really would have enjoyed it a lot more if we played in comp, but you have to pay $5 to play in comp, which I will at some point. Yeah, because it's a free-to-play game now. So you pay $5 to play in comp.
If you bought it when it wasn't a free-to-play game like I did, you have to win 10 matches in casual to unlock competitive. And casual is no longer 6 people to a team like it used to be. Now it's up to 18 to a team, which makes everything like chaos.
That's what I like.
And because you can have multiples of every class, that means we were in one match where there were 5 snipers on the enemy team. Just
So you need a spy.
you try and get 15 other people to cooperate with you.
You don't have to cooperate with the spy. You're the spy.
They don't just have those snipers, though, Andrew. They have the engineer that has his turret. They have the pyros running around checking everybody.
Yeah, hold on. Maybe you're not understanding what I'm saying. You're.
And the pyro checks the spies. If a pyro hits you, You are no longer cloaked. If a pyro runs by a group of people and you're pretending to be one of their teammates so you can backstab them, and the pyro shoots fire at all of them just to check, and it hits you, you're no longer like disguised.
Yeah. Why is the pyro still alive in your scenario?
The point that I'm making is that I found that I enjoy games a lot better when I play in comp because I already have a competitive nature. When you get into a group where everyone is actually trying to achieve the goal instead of playing the character that they want to play because they paid $60 for a game, it's really nice.
I love how I want to point out the way past like those peasants who decided to play the game that they paid for the way they want to play it.
Well, my point
Don't
is
they know
like,
when they buy a game they should play it my way?
what I'm saying is whenever you're playing a team-based game, you should want to help team, even if it means doing something you're not
That's
comfortable with.
what competitive's for.
Exactly, and that's why I play competitive.
Yeah.
I hate playing competitive in anything because people throw. Like even PvP in FF14. Like people playing, everything's going great. Somebody gets mad, everybody gets tilted, people start throwing, and it's like we're doing so
I've
well.
noticed recently. I mean, maybe it's just recently, but I've had very, very few games where someone's throwing in Overwatch now, and it's like one in every like 20 to 30 matches, if that.
I hope it's like that for everybody because it was not like that when I used to play it.
That's because all those kids are now playing Fortnite.
Well, in that situation, God bless Fortnite. Continue on, you stalwart soldier.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the game, and like I said last week, I think, or the week before. No, it had to have been last week. I'm making more friends that play Overwatch now, and people are like inviting me that I technically like I've never met in person, but I've played with Overwatch, and it's pretty cool. Like earlier, we had a 5-stack, we were obviously one short of a full team, which was really cool, and I haven't had that experience in a really long time. So, besides that, I'm still reading manga.
Yes.
Chainsaw Man.
Yes.
Really good. And the last Sayuki is really good.
Yeah.
I wish that I didn't have to wait every week for another chapter, but I at the same time really look forward to Sundays so that I can see the next chapter.
I forget what is this? This is the Shonen Jump thing.
Yeah, and like technically they're free. Like that's what's cool. Like some of these, like you could just download the app and read like the first couple of chapters for free, just to see if you like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely feel like
I know like that concept.
yeah. Did you hear about it last week, Trey?
Yes.
Yeah,
I watched the podcast from last week. I watched you guys not read my comments on any of the news at all.
I forgot. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I completely forgot.
Also, can I clarify at this point right now, real
He's
quick?
the host.
Real quick.
You talk about the Last Jedi, then no.
I do not like Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I just want to make
Yep,
sure it's
I
clear
knew it.
that one of the three of
I
us
called
does
it.
not like that movie. I
Called it.
actively hate that movie, but still think Andrew should watch it.
I think it's gonna be.
I
not
feel like
super.
I shouldn't watch it just because one of you likes it, you hates it.
I mean, you have to watch it if you watch episode 9, so you should probably watch it.
No, I'll just watch episode.
You could, for what it's worth, you could just watch episode 9.
I disagree.
Nothing important happens in The Last Jedi anyway.
We'll agree to disagree.
Cool stuff happened.
Yeah, some cool stuff does happen.
Okay, that's all I care about.
I will fully look. I'm the first one to say I hate good movies and like bad movies sometimes. I will give The Last Jedi credit where it's due. It looks good. That soundtrack is good. There's some good stuff in that movie. But I'm done. I'm sorry. Please continue.
But yeah, I feel like everyone should definitely try to read The Last Sayuki. The writing is exceptional, at least so far. Chainsaw Man has like a few moments where I'm just like, really? But the overall concept is fantastic, and what's happening right now is really exciting. So it's worth giving a shot as well. That's pretty much been my week. I've been really busy. I had my birthday was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Should we sing?
No, please don't. I won't know what to do with my hands.
What?
That's one of those moments where you just like when people say happy birthday. What are you supposed to do with your hands?
What do you mean? What are you supposed to do? Are they supposed
Do you
to be
put them
doing
in your
anything?
pockets? Do you cross your arms?
What does it
Do
matter?
you put them on your? It's an uncomfortable situation.
You said if somebody sings you happy birthday,
Yes.
if somebody sings me happy birthday, I just turn like the monkey symbol and I just.
Don't
Oh,
act like that's not a thing.
I love that I now know what I'm titling this podcast. What do you do with your hands?
I'm just saying, like, what do? Do you put them in your pockets?
It doesn't matter what you do.
Do you do one of
No,
these?
you just exist the way you were before.
You just
do you
stay.
do this?
You keep moving exactly how you were, which means if you weren't moving, you still don't move.
You're not posing for the comfort.
It's awkward.
No, you just
No,
smile.
It's an awkward. No, it's an awkward situation.
You don't even have to smile.
I
You
literally,
just exist.
I don't like being the sole focused point of attention, and that's what happens. And everyone's looking at you and singing, and you're just like,
When they call your number in a
Hi.
restaurant, do you try to figure out whether you should? Let me just.
no,
That is my number. Yes.
That's me.
it's food. It's different.
What do I do with my hands? You're right. That is
When it comes to food, you put the blinders on and you go
Oh.
straight for the waiter.
Oh, what are you doing with that waiter?
Taking my food from him because he's got my food in his hands.
Okay.
My food.
I think you're also doing that wrong.
The guy's on the way to the table, and Pat gets up and grabs his plate off the tray.
Yeah, you're still doing that wrong as well. He's supposed to give you the food.
No, he's talking about when they call your number, like a fuzzy.
That's not a waiter, though.
Okay, well, what are they then? Classify that job for me. 'Cause I don't know what to call them.
That man is an
He's just the guy that
employee.
gets paid to-
He's an employee / he runs the cashier, the cash register / front desk. Front desk employee is a position in fast food.
Okay, well, I
A
assume.
waiter, it's litter pad. It's in the.
Well, hold on. Sometimes they come to your
Hey,
table. I mean, I don't tip them.
All right. Can we just move into my week? Can we just move on? Or we
hold
get into
on,
this
no,
conversation of tipping.
If I don't tip somebody, they're not a waiter. I tip my
Wait.
hair guys.
Don't you also tip with a taxi? Are they waiters?
No.
They were
That's not
waiting
what I
for you
meant.
in the taxi.
Okay, I see how
That's a
this
fair
is.
point.
I see how it is.
Okay. So yeah, I have 2 weeks worth of news from my week to get through. I'm gonna try and burn through it as quick as I can. I beat Sekiro today.
Excited.
I really like that game. I think the final boss fight is a bit.
I'm sorry, Trey.
I
I
didn't-
didn't mean to kill you.
I didn't expect that one. It just, when like in the movies, the people walk away, and as they're walking away, the truck hits them. I was walking to my week. I could see it in front of me, and Pat Trey hates Mario Odyssey just derailed
in
me
chat,
completely.
Andrew.
Oh,
I put in chat, Trey hates Mario Odyssey.
so
That's unbelievable.
Sekiro, right? The final boss fight, I think, is a little egregious. It's a little much. I only died to the final boss 85 times before I finally killed him. That is my most deaths to any boss in all of From's games. The closest one being Knight Artorias, which was 61 deaths. And like you could just say 85, right? You could just throw a number out there. It was 85. And I was feeling it towards like fight 60 or so. Like I was getting the fight down and it was still annoying. Because he does so much damage with any any swing that connects, and it's just like, okay, all right, okay. Out of all the final bosses and anything From has done, I think this one is the most too much, right? Out of all the, like, this might be a little much, this one's the most, okay, look, this is a lot. But beatable. I beat it. Started New Game Plus. New Game Plus, a lot harder. But killed a couple mini bosses right away with no trouble, because they're nothing compared to that last boss. I really like that game. I'm gonna work on a final thoughts video for it at some point. Still working on the final thoughts for Devil May Cry 5, which I didn't even put in my week, but I've been working on the Bloody Palace for it. Yeah, I want to talk about those two games because they're both really good. And Sekiro, specifically, man, that game's real good. I have some pretty significant problems with it that'll come up in the final thoughts video. I don't know where I would rank it right now out of all the games. I think right now it would be closer to the top. Closer to Bloodborne. It definitely is way above DS2 for me. But right now I'm in that weird spot of like DS3 where the game was so good up until a certain point, and then it got to be a little much in places, but then I was still having fun, you know? So I don't know. I think what they do in that game is really cool. I think the story's really good. And I think if it weren't for the way that final boss is handled, I think I wouldn't have had as much of a problem with it, even having died that many times. I still could have died that many times. I wouldn't have been annoyed. But it's the way that boss fight happens and what happens. I don't want to spoil anything for Andrew, so I'm being very vague. My final thoughts video will have a lot more to say about it. But I'm sick and tired of bosses like that in From games. Is what I'll say. So.
Do you include the Bloodborne final boss?
Yes, and the Bloodborne final boss is two different final bosses, technically, if you get the true ending. So, like, I think both of those are fine. I love the final boss, and then the true ending final boss is just, it's fine. Like, the final boss of DS3 does the same thing that this final boss does, except it's worse in this. And I still think that final boss is fine. Whereas this one I don't think is fine. I think this one is a problem. And it's one of my many problems with the game. But the fight itself is cool. It's a good fight. You know. That game goes some really cool places. And I will say, what I think one of my favorite things about the game is that the prosthetic tools that you get, all of them are useful. All of them are good, you know? Like, you can use them in so many different situations. So many surprise moments of, I'm going to try this on this boss. And realizing, oh, this works on this boss. And, like, just being able to cheese stuff down. It's really good.
Can you miss those prosthetic?
Yes. They are not all easily found. In fact, I would argue only 3 of them are easily found. The rest are not easily found at all. And if you would like, I can type out some vague information about where to find them. So you don't have to check a guide and it tell you spoiler stuff. But they're all good. And every time that I was like, nah, this one doesn't have a use, I would not use it for a little while, and then I get to a spot and be really struggling, and I'm like, what can I do here? And then go, I've got that thing! And then try it and go, oh my gosh! So, really good. I thought the final boss of For Answer was okay. I didn't think they were terrible. They did a lot of damage, but, you know, hey, it's fine. I still think the best final boss in Armored Core 4 Answer, chat was asking. That's another From game. I still think the best final boss in all of From's games is Dark Souls 1's Gwen. Because if you know how to parry, he's a joke. And it fits in so well to the story that he's completely burned out, right? But if you don't know how to parry, he's actually a decent fight. And it's just a really cool thematic fight that also winds up being like a decent challenge, you know? It's not all about smacking you in the face with how hard it is, and instead is about like letting you enjoy it. And I realize now that sentence can be taken out of context and used for ulterior motives, but Let's move on. I've also been playing Super Robot Wars T still. That game's really good. I got the Goldion hammer for Kombat XI. And so I've been Hikari Ninariing everything that I come across. That game's really good. Pat, I'm really excited for you to eventually pick it up.
It's really good. You cut out.
Did I? I'm sorry. Super Robot Wars T.
Okay.
So there's a feature in these games where you can suspend mid-mission, right? And man, Discord, right? Come on. You can suspend mid-mission, and if you do, one of the characters will talk to you, asking you to come back soon to help them fight. And I got the one with Noriko from Gunbuster. And at the end of it, she's like, Player-san, come on back and help us fight against the evil. And then she says, but before you go, say it with me. Inazuma? And I was like, girl!
I really want this game.
It's really good. It's really good. Yeah, still playing that. Still playing FF14. FF14 was on maintenance all day today, so I didn't get to play it all today. Won't get to play until tomorrow when maintenance ends. But I did the Hatching Tide event. Didn't get to talk about that because I wasn't on the podcast last week. That event was terrible, and I've got a video that I'm going to be putting out on it. It wasn't like the worst thing ever, but basic idea was, hey, you got to find this egg, and to do it, you got to decode this map to be able to figure out which NPC you need to talk to. And it's like, well, that's kind of cool, right? That's a cool idea. And the first half of it takes place in Gridania, and so you assume the rest of it will take place in Gridania, right? The second half just doesn't tell you, and it's in a completely unrelated zone that you have no reason to guess it would be there. And so I looked around for an hour and a half trying to figure out where that NPC was, and finally found it. I could have just Googled it, but was like, no, I'll figure it out. And so I wound up just walking zone to zone, checking every NPC. So, that wasn't cool. But I also did the FF15 event, and that was sick!
So how long is it going to take me to get the money for the Regalia?
So the Regalia is MGP, Manderville Gold Saucer Points. Mr. Happy put out a great video on how to get a ton of NGP really quickly. I can link it to you if you'd like. Because all you have to do now is go do the quest, and then it's available to purchase in the Gold Saucer. But you can go do all... You're already to the point where you can just do the quest, because you've done 5.0 and you're past level... Or 5.0. 1.0 and you're past level 50. So all you have to do is just go start the quest up in Ul'dah, and then you can do all your stuff with Noctis. And I put up my video of myself doing it and having a good time with it. The event's really good. I don't want to spoil anything for Andrew, because it's if you played 15 and you like 15, it is a great fan service thing of 15.
There's an emotional moment where they sit around a campfire and oh yes. Ooh, boy.
You get to camp out with Noct. And it was really surreal, because at one point he goes, you can call me Noct. And my character's just like nods. And I'm like, no, dude, this is a big thing, Sig. He just told us we can call him Noct. We're like one of the bros now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really good event. And the Regalia is really cool. Riding around in it's really fun. I got a bunch of the FC members. We did a bunch of map farming, treasure map farming, to be able to get some good gil. And the way that we ran around to do that was just in Regalias with all of us loaded in, and it was really cool. From there, I talked about Earth Defense Force Iron Rain a little bit earlier. I did a nice little stream of that last Tuesday. That game has some serious problems. I think the weapon design is really cool. I think the updated graphics do look good. And the enemy designs and stuff is really cool. It's all built around an overdrive mechanic where you build up enough energy and then you can use an overdrive and you get one per map. During that overdrive, you have infinite energy and don't run out of ammo, so you can fire forever until it runs out. The problem is the way you get guns in that game. You don't get them from drops from mobs. You get them from leveling up. And then you spend currency to unlock them. And you can't buy the currency with real money or anything. There's no microtransaction thing to it. But if you decide to buy a turret to be able to throw out in the middle of the map, right? While you're fighting, then you can buy a certain number of turrets per map. And if you buy like 8 turrets and you use those turrets in the map because you spent currency to get them, at the end of the mission, you're penalized for using items.
Oh, yeah, I heard about this.
And it charges you 2,000 gold because you used the turrets that you spent 15,000 gold to buy. Every map. It's pretty ridiculous. It really makes it feel like you can't use all your cool toys that you're unlocking. It's cool that you... Go ahead, sorry.
What you're telling me is the charm of Ukes lives on.
Yeah. Pretty much. You can switch between the frames with a character at any time, which is really cool. Like, it's a cool idea to be able to, like, have the same progression on all your classes. But the new one, the Strider, that allows you to ride monsters into battle, like ride the giant ants and stuff, you only get to do that when you're using your overdrive. And you only get 1 overdrive per map. And it only lasts like 25 seconds. So other than that,
25 seconds.
It's a really cool 25 seconds where you're driving a giant scorpion around. But after those 25 seconds, you just have a grappling hook. That's what sets that class apart. So, like, it really doesn't feel good at all. I immediately after the stream put it on the most disappointing list. I was really looking forward to Iron Rain, and it's just not... It's not good, in my opinion. Like, it plays fine. It's serviceable. But it's not EDF, really. Half the fun of EDF is getting cool weapons and being able to use them, and when it penalizes you for using stuff that you're buying, when you are only able to get new stuff because you have unlocked the ability to get it by getting to a specific level, then you're not getting cool stuff after every mission. You're getting cool stuff every 3 or 4 missions. And the enemies do a lot of damage. They don't have a lot of health, but they do a lot of damage. So you really need to heal, and then it penalizes you for using the heal because you used an item. So it's just, it doesn't play well.
The good thing is you got EDF5. Which
Yeah.
Came out like 4 months ago.
They still get to play EDF5, and that game's still really good. There's also no song in EDF Iron Rain. So 0 out of 10. Chocobo Mystery Dungeon, everybody.
I want to hear about it.
So, Chocobo Mystery Dungeon came out on the Wii years ago. I never bought it on the Wii because, you know, the Wii. But apparently it was a really good game back then, right? It's a dungeon crawler. This port to the Switch, this remaster on the Switch is really pretty. Has some great sound quality. Allows you to... Yes, has cute chocobos. Automatically comes with Alpha from FF14, the chocobo. So that's a great plus for me. As a DLC buddy that you get just for buying it on Switch. It's a dungeon crawler, right? So you move around the dungeon in isometric style. You run into enemies. You have a hunger meter that shows how long your chocobo can stay in the dungeon, and you can collect Yasuo greens to eat while you're in there to be able to fill it back up. What really sets it apart from most dungeon crawlers is the job system. So chocobo can switch between jobs that you've unlocked in the game. And one of the cool ones is you run into a shop at one point, and beside the shop is this piece of treasure sitting there, and you can recognize it as a job. And the shop owner won't sell it to you. And so you steal it. And it's the thief job. And so I can't wait to see what other dumb stuff like that is in this game. But you level the jobs and your chocobo separately. So you can have like a level. I've right now a level 15 Chocobo. That's a level 3 Knight, a level 3 Black Mage, a level 2 Thief, and a level 2 White Mage. And as you play through, you unlock more jobs. You can go back and grind out job levels in previous dungeons that you've beaten. I'm currently on a boss that is destroying me, but I think you're supposed to do everything else up until that point. If you die in the dungeon, though, you lose half your gold.
You die in real life.
Yes, you die in real life. You lose half your gold, and then you lose most of your items. It's not a specific number, but you lose most of the items you have on you at the time, except for equipped items. I really like it. It's really good. The remixes of the music alone are worth it, in my opinion. Like, the remixes to the Final Fantasy themes, to the job themes, it's so good. The Chocobo theme is everywhere, and there's so many different renditions of it. It's amazing. But the main theme of the game is that there's this town that has a bell in it, and when the bell rings, everyone forgets what they were doing, who they know, what's going on. And so the people that live in this town have accepted it and have chosen that this is the way they want to live because they can forget all their problems. And Chocobo has the power, because of plot reasons that I don't want to spoil, to be able to go into their minds, basically, and tackle the dungeon inside to be able to, like, restore their memories.
That's really cool.
It's really nifty. And each person, like, their mind has a challenge dungeon in there that has different rule sets from a regular dungeon. And so they have basically this setup where at one point you find the lady who runs the flower shop, and inside her challenge dungeon is just plant monsters. Because all she thinks about are plants. And the plants themselves, the memories have been lost, and so they've taken the form of monsters. But because they were memories of plants, they're plant monsters, you know? It's really cool. It's really cool. But I like it a lot. I can't hear you at all, Andrew, so I don't know if you were saying something. Can't hear you. Still can't hear you. Technical difficulties cast. If we didn't already have a title.
What do you do with your hands?
But yeah, it's a really good game. I like it a lot. And being on the Switch, it's easy to take on the fly and go. It's really good.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
That was crazy. Okay. I wanted to get in before you can move on.
Yeah.
So, as someone who was interested in this game from the get-go, I was interested in it back in the day.
Yeah.
Solely because of cute animals.
Yes.
As someone who's only played Final Fantasy 14 and 15, but likes cute animals.
Yes. The answer is yes, you should play this game. You won't get a lot of the jokes, but you will get all the jokes that have to... Well, you won't get all of them, but there's a lot of jokes with Alpha, because he's from Final Fantasy 14, that you'll get later when you get to the point where Alpha shows up in Final Fantasy 14. But yeah, it's definitely worth it, in my opinion.
So I got new Joy-Cons, so
Yeah.
I'm looking at Switch games.
It's super cheap, too. I think it's like $39.99.
Yeah, $40. I was looking at buying Crafted World, looking at buying Final Fantasy 12.
Yeah.
Looking at buying Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen on Switch.
Oh, the living friend. It's really good.
Which one? I named off for you.
They're all, well, except for Yoshi, they're all really good.
What you know about Yoshi?
It looks... Don Casanova said it wasn't fun.
Yeah, but you didn't play it, so you can't.
I didn't play it. But
Daniel
I
Bloodworth-
double down on Don.
But Daniel Bloodworth said it is fun.
That's true. You know what? That's true. I'll give you that.
Don. I said Dominatrix.
Dom! Dom!
Mr. Casanova is obsessed with Jurassic World Evolution,
You are right.
which is universally considered a bad game.
You are right. Moving on.
You're telling me I'd be better off buying Chocobo Mystery Dungeon and Dark Arisen than buying the new hotness.
I can personally speak for the quality of both of those games and tell you that Dark Arisen is the better form of Dragon's Dogma, a game that is criminally underrated. That game is amazing. It does have some flaws, but it's amazing. And Chocobo Mystery Dungeon, Everybuddy, probably one of the best dungeon crawlers I've played in years, that also happens to have the full job system available to your cute Chocobo. Just saying.
Oh, you said you had to say cute Chocobo.
I'm just saying. And then finally for my week. I'm sorry. I actually had 2 things left. I'm almost done. I promise. 2 weeks. I started reading a manga. It's brand new. It's called Spy X Family. And the basic rundown is that the main character is the spy who has long since thrown away his own identity. And he's in this country that is at war almost with another country. And they're trying to prevent the war. And he's decided he's going to do all he can as a spy for the greater good. Do any mission, doesn't matter what, right? And they give him a mission to get close to this diplomat who is trying to incite the war. But the only time this diplomat goes to any kinds of events or anything like that is when he goes to his kids' events at school. And so this spy needs to enroll a child that he does not have into this school so that he can pretend to be a dad to be able to meet with this dignitary. And so he adopts this child to be able to get close to this dignitary. And the child is an Esper who can read minds. And all of this is offset by the fact he doesn't know how to be a dad at all, so that's already cool. All this is offset by the fact that to be able to enroll in the school, they have to have a meeting with the mom and the dad, so he also has to get married.
Oh boy.
And so I won't spoil too much about what happens, but the woman gets thrown into the mix is a hitman whose goal is to kill someone close to the dignitary. And so she needs to be able to get in there as well. And so obviously you can see where things go from here. And it's a really good story. The kid's super cute and is just trying not to get kicked out of another home because she can read minds. It's super tough on her, right? And it's just a really cool little family story. I like it a lot. There's only 3 chapters right now, but I'm going to keep following it for sure. I really like it.
That's awesome.
And then finally for my week, and then we can move on. Kamen Rider. Andrew is just killing the audio right now. Kamen Rider W. I'm gonna turn the Discord audio down real quick while Andrew gets his chair sorted. Oh, he went and got his Switch.
Just make some purchases real quick.
Kamen Rider W, I had started watching it some time back. I don't know why, I got busy, I guess, and stopped watching it. But I started it back up again. That show is really good. Not even as a weeb show, right? Not even as you love anime, you love Japanese dramas, you're gonna love this. But legitimately a good show. The effort they put into the characters and just the way the characters move is really good. It's really internally consistent. There's this cop named Terry Ryu, and he always moves slowly, and his steps are heavy, because he's trying to scope out the whole area. And so it's just really cool to see that over and over. The characters are super consistent as well. There's a really great moment where a character pulls out a sword, and they're not transformed to be super cool or anything. They're just a character pulling out a sword, and when they pull it out, it's super heavy and it hits the ground, and they can't lift it, so they drag it behind them. And when they finally get it up to swing it, it's the whole body movement into the swing, and it does a ton of damage. And you just knew from the moment it hit the ground that it was building up to that moment, They sold it so well. that when it does happen, it's really cool. Some of the special effects are a little, not great. You know, like 2008 CG, not super great. But character-wise, it's a really good show. The music's great. I think most of the acting is really good. The only character that I really didn't like early on was Akiko, and I have come around on her. She had some really good scenes. But I really think it does a great job of selling who these characters are. And I'm maybe 38 episodes in out of 49. I'm almost done with it, but I'm definitely going to watch some more Kamen Rider after this. I think Gaim is probably going to be the next one. I've been recommended that. Kamen Rider's really good. Also, the way that they transform is that there's two of them transforming into one Kamen Rider, right? And so whichever's body is being used, the other one's mind goes into Kamen Rider, and so that body passes out. There's some really good gags sometimes with that.
That's cool.
It's really good.
I want to check that show out.
You should. It's really good.
Watch.
It has some great character moments. From there, we should move into the rest of the podcast because we do still have a podcast. Mortal Kombat 11 reviews have come in. Would you guys like to guess where it is sitting on OpenCritic right now? I can't hear Andrew again. Can't hear you. I'm sorry. Just wanted to make sure you didn't think I was joking, but I cannot. Pat's pulling it up on his phone, getting a secret edge here.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
You can hear me. Okay.
Yes, now I can hear you.
What the hell, man? What is going on tonight?
You're also like way louder now. Let me bump you down.
Well, I was yelling.
Oh, that's true. I don't know, man.
I was very
Technical
upset.
difficulties all over the place. So, what do you think it's at right now?
I said 85. If it's open critic, it's going to be 83 to 85. It's going to be in that range.
Okay. Pat, what you think?
I think it's gonna be like an 89.
Okay. You definitely did not cheat on your phone just then. Because it is currently at an 81
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
on OpenCritic. For the most part, reviews are exactly what you'd expect. People giving it great. Daily Star gave it a 3 out of 5 and said flawless fighting marred by tedious grinding and content gating. Daily Mirror, I don't know if those two are connected or not in any way. Won't try and say. Said that if you're a diehard fan, you must own it just for the story and local competitive, but until NetherRealm fixes its issues with connectivity and offers an experience that is friendly for consumers, you're better off waiting for it to lower in price. So, most of the problems people have is the microtransactions and the unlocking.
So yeah, I'm going to say I was on the fence about buying it. I love Mortal Kombat, but I know I don't play fighting games as long as I probably should to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
For my money. And then I read about all the pre-release stuff about how grindy the game is.
Yeah, it's a
how
problem.
hard they push the microtransactions. And now I'm just not even going to get it.
That's fair. I don't blame you.
Just save me money. Because I like Injustice 2 had a little bit of a grind, but it was perfect.
Yeah.
It's just the right amount of grind. And everyone is saying that this is 10 times worse than Injustice 2. So, if I'm not having fun unlocking stuff, and that's the majority of the game for me, since I'm not going to play online,
Yeah.
it's just not worth it for me.
Pat, your thoughts?
I still really want to play the game.
Pat's big time Mortal Kombat fan.
Yeah. I'm gonna play the game no matter what. I'm not gonna get it right away just because I really don't have the money. I didn't really have the money to buy World War Z, and I did it. But
I will say, Pat, the leveling in World War Z is very generous.
That's exciting. definitely gonna pick up Mortal Kombat 11 though. Just because I love Mortal Kombat. That's just it's kind of one of those things for me where it's like I have to at least try the game.
I understand.
So I may rent it.
That's a good idea.
Box.
That is a good
Do
idea.
that.
That's smart. I didn't think about that.
I don't personally really, and we've talked about this before with Injustice and things like that. I don't really personally enjoy that style of fighter. It's not this. It's not what I play fighting games for, if that makes sense. It's very different from things like Street Fighter or Blaze Blue or Guilty Gear, or King of Fighters, or most fighting games. And I don't begrudge people that like it at all, because like I'm glad you have something for you. Like a bunch of other fighters that were different and niche are gone now. They don't make more virtual fighters, you know? Things like that. I think it's really cool that Mortal Kombats are still being made and that people still get to play that. It's just never really been my thing. So I'm not...
It's NetherRealm games feel completely different.
Yeah.
They do.
So it's a skip for me, unfortunately. I wish that it didn't have these problems with the grinding in the tower and in the crypt, but okay. We also got, and I forgot to look this up, so I hope somebody else has this date on hand.
You know what?
Ultimate Alliance 3, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, has a release date.
All right. Since y'all don't know, I want to hear some guesses. It is this year. It's this year.
Okay. September 25th.
That's all this specific. Pat?
I kind of want to do a specific one too now.
Yeah, go for it.
November 3rd.
Yeah.
Well, boys, I gotta say, you're both wrong. It's coming July 19th, baby. It's only 3 months away.
Okay,
Wow.
that's way
And not only
faster.
that, Switch is packed for the line, baby. They got Fire Emblem 3 houses, and they got Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Double Black Order, and they got Dragon Quest Builders 2.
I've never had to turn Andrew down.
Yeah, I turned him down on the stream so hard just then. That's cool though.
Switch, baby.
That's really good. I'm glad. I'm excited.
Now, this is what my July looks like.
Shadowbringers.
FF14 Shadowbringers,
Yes.
Ultimate Alliance 3, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, and Wolfenstein Youngblood, and I may buy Dragon Quest Builders 2. It's packed. This is a packed summer.
Man, I'm having some trouble with OBS today. It is OBS, Discord, everything's acting up. Yes, it's a very packed summer.
Actually, it's a packed July, because June, I mean, you got Crash Team Race, you got Judgment at the end of the month.
Judge Ice.
Excited about that.
Pat.
Man, July
Pat.
19th. We're playing that online.
Yes. Pat. You telling me podcasts for the next 3 weeks after Judge Eyes comes out. 20 minutes apiece every podcast, you and me.
Down.
Just talking about Judge Eyes.
I am so ready for this game.
What the fuck is this? I can't play Judgment.
I mean, you can. You just hadn't expressed any big interest in it.
Yes, I have. I'm excited. What? I'm throwing stuff around. I'm just upset right now.
I can tell. I need to turn you down again.
You see this? Trash.
I need to turn you down again. Why are you so loud suddenly?
Now you're not fully awake, Andrew.
I mean, yeah, I'm super down to play Ultimate Alliance online as well, though. I'm down for that. Are we all getting it on Switch?
It's only on Switch.
Oh, well, there we go. We're all getting it on Switch.
Pat, please buy this game.
I want to. I really want to.
I'll let you pick. I'll let you main whatever character you want.
I don't. Well,
I won't.
some of the characters I'm not going to know because aren't they pulling some new heroes?
It's Ultimate Alliance, baby.
Yeah.
Ultimate.
Yeah, isn't there going to be heroes from like Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff?
Probably.
I
Yeah.
don't know any of the people.
I'll play Star-Lord if he's in there.
It's gonna have like. It's probably still gonna have like Spider-Man and Venom.
Okay, as long as it has the classic.
Hopefully
It
it's
should.
got
It
Wolverine.
better.
Hope Hopefully, it's got some X-Men representation.
Yeah, Artaka Andrew is now at 29% volume on Discord, so should not be a problem.
Yeah, now they can't even hear me.
Oh no, they can still hear you. At 29%, you sound like you normally do at 100%. I don't know why your mic is peaking today so much.
I'm awake.
I
Will
just,
they not allow? Like, have they not released the roster?
they normally
Well, I
don't
think that-
until like right doors release, but they might have.
The Black Order.
I'm excited. I
I
think
think
we
it's a leak or something. Ooh, all of confirmed characters in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Read me that
This
list.
This was posted in January, so
There's probably gonna be some more from that aren't in that list.
yeah,
but
this is just the confirmed so far. Why is this messing up?
I like to play
Why is
Cap
this-
in the last two. Cap's really fun in those games. His boomerang shield is really good in those games.
Okay, we've got I called it with the Guardian of the Galaxy. You got Nebula, Star Lord, Drax,
I'll play.
Rocket Raccoon Baby.
Yeah.
Gamora, Groot, and you got Black Dwarf.
Okay.
Don't know who that is.
Comics.
He looks cool. Proxima Midnight,
Okay.
Ebony Maw,
Okay.
Corvus Glaive,
Okay. Sure.
Super Giant,
Yeah.
Iron Man,
Yeah.
Captain America,
Yes.
Ultron Baby,
Why?
Hulk,
Sure. Yeah. Of course.
Thor,
Yeah.
Sandman. What a dick! Dude. Hey, Artaka, I agree. If he doesn't have Moon Knight, we riot. Spider-Man.
Of all the characters to go, please go ahead.
Sentinels.
Why is this? I mean, you know what? Sure. Okay. Fine. Sentinels playable on Marvel vs. Capcom. Why not?
What's wrong with Sentinels?
It's just weird to me to have them playable. But okay.
What? They're awesome. Wolverine.
Yeah.
Ronan the Accuser.
Okay. Sure.
Kingpin, baby.
Yeah. That's a good playable character. Cool.
Ooh. Green Goblin.
Wait, are these confirmed playable or just confirmed to be in the game?
Hold on. It's just confirmed characters.
Okay, so they're not confirmed playable.
No.
It'd be really
They're
weird if they
still-
let you play as Green Goblin. I'd be down for it, but
Don't they let you play as the villains in the other games?
some of them,
Oh,
but
they
not
did.
all of them.
Nick Fury. They
Yeah.
got the movies Black Widow,
Sure.
Scarlet Witch, Lockjaw,
Yeah, okay.
Giant Bulldog, Falcon, Crystal, Thanos. That's it so far. We
Interesting.
need Moon Knight. We
Yes.
need Deadpool.
The Fist of Khonshu has to be there.
I want an old man Logan skin.
Give me
for
She-Hulk. Give me Daredevil. The Punisher.
Venom. One of his villains.
Yeah, sure. Let Venom be in there. Give me some weird pulls too. Give me like Namor.
Punisher.
Yeah.
He's not weird. Not weird. I'm saying
Right.
that.
Yeah. Ghost Rider.
We gotta have Ghost Rider.
Yeah, he's got to be in there. Doctor Strange, clearly.
I want this to be like the Marvel Heroes
Yes.
action RPG.
Yes.
Just be every character.
Throw
that's
them
ever
all in there. Give me Winter Soldier too. Ant-Man.
Yeah, I guarantee you all of the cinematic universe.
Oh,
characters.
Captain Marvel's gonna be in there.
Yeah, Captain Marvel sucks. We all know Captain Marvel is
Did you guys watch that movie?
toxic nationality.
I heard it was pretty bad.
I watched that movie. I did not like that movie. It
Yeah,
actually
I heard
like
it.
Captain Marvel. It really undermines Nick Fury as a character in a really bad way.
You know the first Captain America?
No, I'm talking about Captain Marvel.
Oh, Captain Marvel.
Yes,
Oh, I like that movie.
I did not like that movie. It undermines
I heard
Nick Fury in a really bad
Shazam
way.
is better.
I think part of it too is that like Carol in the movie has no personality. Like she doesn't gain or lose anything throughout the course of the movie. She's the same person at the end of the movie she is from the start of the movie. She's just doing something different now. And I hate it when movies do that. I hate it when you just go, no, this character's fine already. They don't need to learn any life lessons or overcome any personal trauma or anything like that.
You know, you mentioned it. She did. She learned more stuff.
Right.
But it didn't really change anything.
At all. Like, some of it's really big, important things, too. And she's just like, that makes sense. And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Aliens? Cool.
Yeah. Oh, my mom's dead. Oh, well. Like, what? What?
That happens sometimes.
Oh, man. So, yeah, I'm excited for Ultimate Alliance 3.
Shazam, the original Captain Marvel,
Yes.
is the better movie.
I will not doubt that one bit. I actually really want to watch it now.
By far.
So, the rest of this stuff we'll probably move through pretty quickly. There's a slow news week, which is good, I guess, because we spent a long time on weeks. Joker is now in Smash.
Yes, and the intro and the if you win and everything is amazing.
I heard it was really good. I still haven't played Joker yet, but I heard that I really should.
If you want to see his moveset, you can check out the character breakdown on this same channel.
So the only reason I watched the trailer and all the information for Joker was because I was watching Easy I Play Dreams.
Yeah. And they stopped the stream. Yep.
Before they really even get into it, they stop the stream and just live stream the reactions to it.
Yep. Joker as a character is really good. They spent a lot of time on him. All the small details are great. Joker's stage is really cool. Depending on what music is playing, it takes a different color between Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5. The remixes of the music are all amazing. I think Beneath the Mask, the version that's in Smash, is better than the version that's in P5. Like, it's really good. Because, like, in P5, it's like... And, like, that's pretty good, right? It's got a good, smooth feel to it. And then in Smash, it's like... Where have you been? It's really good. All of that stuff is great. And Joker as a character, there's so much love and attention put into his character. Even to his taunt that has Morgana pop out and go, "Looking cool, Joker." It's so good. I love the victory screen for him is just the victory screen from P5.
Yes, it's perfect.
It's so good. It's so good. From there, the Smash level editor is now live. Pat, have you looked into that at all?
I have not. I haven't played Smash in like a month.
You should. Level editor, there's some really creative stuff people have been making.
I haven't played Smash since December.
You should. There's some really creative stuff that
It's
people have been making.
all fighting games with me. I love them, and I just can't keep playing them.
That's fair. That's fair.
I always end up burning myself out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should come back for the 2 new characters you haven't played as then, Andrew. Piranha Plant and Joker. Joker's classic mode was really fun. I think they did some really clever stuff there.
I'm gonna hold on and come back with Banjo.
From there, the Smash video editor was also added. And it's really dumb to me that the built-in Smash video editor is better than Windows Movie Maker. It allows you to trim footage on the fly, put in transitions. It's really good, actually.
That's hilarious.
So, that's really cool. From there, what do you guys think about the Capcom plug-and-play console?
I didn't actually see this.
This is the thing that has the Capcom logo as a controller, right?
Yes, it's a fight stick with like two fight sticks jammed together in the form of the Capcom logo with the word Capcom branded across the front with an HDMI out to be able to plug into a television. I'm going to tell you the 16 games that are pre-installed on it. They are ROM emulations being run through it, so they'll run the same way they would on your computer. 944 The Loop Master, Alien vs. Predator,
Hell yeah.
Armored Warriors.
Don't know what it is.
It's a really great mech game. Beat 'em up. Capcom Sports Club, Captain Commando, Cyberbots, Full Metal Madness, Darkstalkers, The Night Warriors,
Yes.
Eco Fighters, Final Fight,
Yes.
Ghouls and Ghosts,
Yes.
Giga Wing, Mega Man The Power Battle, Pro Gear, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Strider, and Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo.
Definitely.
So, that sounds like a pretty good deal, right? I mean, 16 built-in games, some good ROMs, get you a fight stick that's way heavier than a regular fight stick that you would never want to take to an actual tournament because it's two fight sticks built into one. But sure, right?
Well, yeah, you get the whole arcade multiplayer co-op feel.
Yeah.
Hold on, I want to say, I've heard some controversy about the price.
Yes.
I want to guess. I don't know what the price is. I'm just
Oh, perfect. Pat, you can guess too then after Andrews.
Okay.
What's the
I
price,
don't
right?
even know how big it is. I know it's big. It's
Yes.
gotta fit two.
It is as big as, like, it's roughly this big.
It's
It's gotta fit two sticks on it.
Yep, and they are very close to each other.
Yeah, I want to say 300.
They are uncomfortably close to each other, I would say. Your right hand is almost on that stick that the other player is using.
I want to say 300, but I don't think there's any way they would do that. I'm gonna say 150.
Okay. Andrew or Pat?
I was gonna say 199.
Okay.
Okay.
$259.99.
Oh, fuck, I'm down with that price.
Yep.
So the design to me looks terrible.
I agree. I think it's a really bad design.
Yeah.
Now,
It's
if you could
perfectly stupid.
if you could separate them, I mean, I
So
wouldn't pay that price.
I want to make this worse for y'all as well. It does use USB for a power supply, so you technically could hack more into it. But you can't use it with any existing consoles. So even though it technically is a fight stick,
Wait, hold on. This thing's not just a game you get for like PS4 or something?
no, it's its own standalone thing that emulates built-in from a chip with an HDMI out to your television. So you pay $260 for this thing to get a two-player fight stick, and you can't even use it as a two-player fight stick because it is just an arcade setup, basically. So yeah, it's a thing. However, it'll connect through Wi-Fi to be able to look up leaderboards for you.
Yay.
Yeah, because that's what we want.
So
They'll be pretty empty, I think.
on the list of all the dumb things that probably shouldn't have been made, that's at the top, I think, this week. Like, what were you thinking, right? And you know they put it at that price because that's how much they have in it. Like a CPU built into that can run emulation built into a fight stick. There's already not a lot of good room inside a fight stick anyway, right? It's just so weird. It's just so weird.
It's terrible.
So yeah, don't buy it. From there, Jump Force has announced the rest of their DLC. That's still a thing that exists. And whereas before they were being like super close to the chest about it and going like, one new character is Seto Kaiba, get ready everybody. And then the next like 2 months later it was, Also, All Might's coming. Get ready, everybody. Thursday of last week, they just dumped the rest of the names because I think they realized they weren't getting enough traction on their.
No. People are done with Jump Force because it's a bad game.
That's 100% correct. So the list of
I forgot
DLC
it came out.
characters. Go ahead, sorry.
I forgot it came out until this moment.
Yeah.
Me too.
So the list of DLC characters are Seto Kaiba, All Might from My Hero Academia. I guess I should say Seto Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh. Bisky from Hunter x Hunter, which I want to stop for just a second there and go, hey, Pat, if you had to pick one Hunter x Hunter character that's not in the game, who would you have chosen?
I'm terrible with names, but you know who I would have chosen.
I mean,
Was it died?
there's a whole bunch of options, right? Kite, Meruem.
Kite is my choice.
Yeah, no, I mean Kite's for sure. They chose Bisky, which I mean I like Bisky, but
He doesn't have a gun. That's literally like a wheel that or is it a spinner that determines what weapon it is.
I agree. And Bisky, like her ability to switch between two different forms is cool, you know. But like,
It's not.
there's so many Hunter x Hunter characters. Regardless, after that is Madara from Naruto, the character that should have been in there instead of Kaguya. Trafalgar Law from One Piece. Hitsugaya from Bleach. Grimmjow from Bleach. And Bakugo from My Hero Academia. So,
You skipped Boo.
I'm sorry, yes, I did skip Majin Buu from Dragon Ball. I'm sorry. My
I want
apologies.
to ask, is it Kid Boo?
No.
You had one job.
So,
You're gonna put Boo in a game. You put Kid Boo.
So here's my biggest issue with this, and it's what I wanted to be. It's why we even really brought it up, because otherwise, it's not even really news, right? Nobody
Okay,
cares about
good.
Jump Force anymore.
I agree.
Other than Seto Kaiba, all of the DLC characters are from mainline series.
Yeah.
There's not a single new series introduced in the DLC.
I would say Kaiba is. I would say Yu-Gi-Oh is.
Well, Yugi's already in there. I mean, there's not any new new series brought in. Like Dr. Stone was one people were asking for that. Jump like Bandai was like, oh, maybe we'll have some Dr. Stone characters come in with DLC.
I thought you said excluding Kaiba.
No, I said with just Kaiba. Everything
Oh,
else
yeah.
is like the main series. Kaiba's the only one that's not from like a main series. That Jump normally pushes. Like Yu-Gi-Oh's not the series they normally push. I say that they include
Really?
Yu-Gi-Oh cards with it, but it just feels weird to me that stuff like JoJo's didn't get a new character, or I mean anything else really. There's so many other series like Kenshin didn't get a new character. City Hunter just got a brand new movie announced. No new City Hunter character. There's Kenshiro didn't get a new character. It's still just Kenshiro. Like they didn't even add Kenshiro's villain.
All I'm saying is it's shonen.
Yeah,
Shonen Jump. Why can't we have Chainsaw Man?
he could have been in there, but he's not.
This, like, I get what you're saying. This is the game where you pull out
Yeah.
all the fan service of the smaller titles.
Let me hit you with the one that really throws me like for a loop. Because this is the end of the DLC. This means no characters from One Punch Man are in this at all.
Nope.
Yep. Yep. Like, I get it if you don't add Saitama, right? But you got Genos, you got Fubuki, you got Garo.
Genos would have been an amazing character.
Genos would have been great.
But they would have ruined him in the game, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, at the end of the day, it's probably a blessing in disguise. Because
Yeah.
now I have to know that my boy Grimmjow Jacket Jacks is in that game and he's going to be bad. But, yeah, Jump Force continues to disappoint. Like, that's the worst part for me, is that this is going to be one of the things I think of when it comes to Game of the Year most disappointing, is when they finished the DLC, there were no One Punch Man characters in there.
I mean, yeah, I think Shonen Jump's got a high spot on the most disappointing.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I was interested in it. I'm not like a diehard fan, but even I was into it. It's garbage.
Yeah. So after that, we got a little bit of information on the PS5. Not too much. A bunch of people are making it sound like it's right around the corner, and we don't know much at all, really. We know that it will have, confirmed by Tech Radar through Sony, we know that it will have an 8-core AMD chipset based on 3rd generation Ryzen architecture, with the GPU taking the best bits of the Radeon Navi GPUs, built for purpose SSD storage system, 3D audio, backwards compatibility with PS4 games and PSVR hardware, and that it will have 8K TV support. That's about where our knowledge ends. I've seen a lot of people being like, yeah, this means PS5's coming out this Christmas. I don't think that's what that means.
They're dipping their toe in. They're getting you hyped for it.
Yeah. So, the thing that excites me, the two things, are the backwards compatibility for PS4 and the
and
SSD.
PSVR.
Yeah, and PSVR. And the SSD. Because they could have so easily said, we don't have to do that. We know now the reason why they didn't with PS3 to PS4 is because the way that the 2-core system was set up, you couldn't. But PS4 to PS5 has no reason that they can't do it, and so they chose to do it, which is really cool to me because they could have said no.
Yeah, I mean, and that takes away one of the things that Microsoft markets is like, hey, we are backwards compatible.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like we'll definitely see the console coming out within the next 2 years or so, though.
Oh yeah, I think within 2 years, most likely.
I think next year, Christmas.
I think we'll hear more about it towards the end of this year, and then we'll have like nothing, and then they'll show us the console, basically.
So didn't they say they're not doing a PlayStation Expo this year?
Yeah.
So E3 2020 is going to be big, I bet.
Yes.
I bet they're putting it all behind that.
And now that they've shared this information, I wonder if that's why, because that's what they would have shared at the Expo anyway, and they probably didn't want to get people's hype up too much before they had some actual information to give.
I'm sure Microsoft is going to show up at E3 as well.
Oh yeah, Microsoft will be there.
Yeah, kinda.
And don't forget either, like Sony last year, they were not super well liked their presentation last year. Like they spent a lot of money on that, the way that they did it, where they had it cut back to the stage and talking to people on the stage and then cutting back to the show. And people did not like that very much. Especially like we talk about so often like games journalists, right? And the effect that they can have on the industry. The most outspoken people against Sony's presentation were the people that had to get up and walk between 3 different sets for Sony's presentation. And like Sony took that, I think, personally, I don't have any proof, but I think they took that to heart and were like, hey, why waste the money on this?
Well, and like weird stuff, like apparently like the Days Gone. They'll play Days Gone, you gotta go to this abandoned church at night and they gotta all decorate with corpses and stuff. And you gotta go through they gotta walk you through this maze like structure and then you can play the game. It's like literally it's my job to play this game.
I just want to do my job, man.
Yeah, I do not care about the rest of this crap.
So from there, Kingdom Hearts 3 is getting a critical mode tomorrow. So critical mode is the hardest difficulty. It's always been a thing you had to buy the final mix version of the game to get before. It's a free DLC launching tomorrow for Kingdom Hearts 3. Don't know any details about it. We don't know what it changes, if it'll actually be a difficulty. I hope it is. I'm going to replay KH3 at some point this year with the critical mode to find out. Because if it is, and that fixes the difficulty, that'll fix one of my big problems with the game. It won't fix the other, but it'll fix one of them. And the game will be higher on my list at end of the year if that happens. But hard mode, cruel mode as they call it, built into KH3, is easier than a lot of the other games' normal modes. So I don't have a lot of faith in this critical mode. I'm just going to be honest. From there, I wanted to highlight the Sekiro 1.03 update that went up today. I won't get into spoilers of what all it changed specifically, but what I really like about this is it shows that From is really paying attention to feedback. Basically, the main thing about this update is that they adjusted the amount of spirit emblems that specific prosthetics cost. So some prosthetics cost a lot of spirit emblems, and you can only use them a couple times. So in most situations, you're never going to use them, right? From's approach on this, as they put it, is that we have adjusted the efficiency and spirit cost of the following to encourage usage and diversity of approach. They want you to use all of your tools, not just the cheap tools. And so they have made everything cheaper to use, which is really cool. I think that's a really cool way to do that. If you've got some really cool niche stuff that you want people to use, but they won't use because they don't want to spend the spirit emblems to do it, then, like, you know, this is a good way to get around that. They also increase the drop rate of some items that you really need. They're really good items. You need them towards the end game. Increase the drop rate for them. One boss was doing more posture damage than he was supposed to, and so they have bumped that back down. They fixed some bugs where certain enemies would do a lot more damage than they were supposed to. They fixed some system crashing bugs. They improved stability on PC with some drivers. They fixed bugs that made it where you could not progress into the world. So there's some really good stuff in that update, and I just think it's really cool to see that from. I will put it this way. When the first DS2 update came out for PS3 and Xbox 360, that update said changes have been made. From has come a long way in explaining what the changes are. There's no need to be vague about when you're fixing things. So that's really cool. So, Pat, tell me about this Apex patch.
So they made a lot of changes. It happened last Tuesday, so it was right after the podcast, pretty much.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the big things they did, because like the community's been pretty vocal about a lot of different stuff. So one of the big things that they did is Caustic and Gibraltar have a new passive where they take 10% less damage than everyone else. So now they're actually like tank.
It's good.
Characters, yeah, they're actually tank legends instead of just being like everyone else with bigger hitboxes. They also did a little bit more like Caustic can throw his discs a little bit further. His gas damage per tick went from 1 to 4, so it does a little more damage. And then Gibraltar's gun shield has more health as well, so he's still more tanky.
Cool.
They did a lot of weapon balancing because obviously from the get-go there was a pretty quick meta. So guns like Spitfire, Wingman, Havoc, Longbow, G7, Triple Tig, they all got buffs or nerfs to try to balance the game out more.
Good.
And one of the big complaints that the community had was like the Havoc. If you picked up a gold Havoc, for some reason instead of a turbocharger, it had a select fire, and the Havoc really shouldn't even have a select fire, in my opinion. So they changed that, so now it has a turbocharger, so it's more useful. The gold Wingman comes with a digital threat, which was a big thing. A couple other things, and like because even the devs call them the thick boys, because of in their words, in honor of thick boy buffs, we're going to be running a bonus Battle Pass XP event. So just for finishing in 5th or better with one of the quote unquote thick boys, you get a bonus XP.
Cool.
So like they're encouraging people to use them again, which is really cool. And then like small stuff, they made the jump ship move faster. Because the jump ship moved really slow.
Yeah.
And then they fixed a couple of bug fixes. I'm really excited. I mean, that kind of brought me back to the game a little bit. I played a little bit earlier and I'll play some more. It's really nice that they listen, and Respawn has a history of listening to the community. So I'm not surprised, but it was just really nice to hear that they actually made some of the changes people have been requesting.
Yeah.
Because I know even you, Trey, said that one of your big problems was that the tanks weren't really tanks.
Yeah, it felt weird because Respawn had done such a good job with Titanfall 2, with the balance of the Titans themselves. The bigger Titans that had bigger hitboxes and could be hit from more areas had more health and had shields, and it just felt weird to see. There's like specifically Gibraltar is the one that I remember having a problem with it, being like, man, this guy's bigger. He's got a bigger hitbox. It doesn't feel. It feels like I'm being punished for choosing him. You know?
Yeah, because even the shield didn't have enough health for it to really like be viable. But now it went from 50 to 75, so you'll have more time using it. And 10% damage may not seem like a lot on paper, but in that game it really is a lot.
A lot of games overcommit when it comes to that, so I'm glad they just went with 10. See where it lands and then readjust it later.
Yeah, because from what I understand, they don't really have like a test server.
Yeah, they just
kind of just
live,
just rolling it out. Yeah, they're rolling it out and seeing what happens. So I 110% agree that the 10% was, and I think 10% is enough. If you're getting
I think so too.
Extra, with Gibraltar specifically, if you're getting extra armor health, and you have to run that slow and all that stuff, 10% is still really good. So
I agree.
I'm excited.
Cool. I'm glad they're still, just like I said with From, I'm glad that companies are still willing to rebalance their games and check them and make sure things are right. Because so many companies, Bandai, don't when it comes to games like Jump Force and New Gundam Breaker and things like that. The last thing that I had is just a dumb little thing. I'm not going to say the new episode title, what it was always supposed to be, because that is a spoiler. But the latest Game of Thrones episode, up until today, roughly 4.5 hours ago, was titled, and I quote, Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 68. That was the title.
I guess that makes sense, because they don't want you to be spoiled.
Well, no, it was definitely an error, because last week the episode was titled immediately. So most likely they've just forgot to change the title when they published the episode. But I thought that was really funny. I'm assuming a bunch of people probably messaged them, and that's why it's now adjusted back to what it was supposed to be.
Someone lost their job.
Maybe. I hope not. I hope it was just a simple, like...
I don't think so. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. But that's all. There were a couple, like, small things that had come up. Like, Mortal Kombat 11 is not going to be able to be sold on PC in Japan because Japan has viewed that the game's too violent.
Only on PC, though.
Yeah, only on PC. You can still get it on console. So it's just a weird distinction. And only on Steam, like through the Steam store. So technically you could buy a Steam key if you live in Japan and redeem it. You just can't purchase it on Steam. It's weird. But nothing else that was really like big newsworthy. But gentlemen, normally this is when I would go, do we want to try and tackle anything else? But I think we've just about reached a podcast. We're at an hour 52 in. You guys have any plugs? I want to plug a channel named Tyrannicon. I'll make sure to put the channel description, or the channel in the description. After I beat Sekiro, what I wanted to know was if there were better ways to beat the bosses. Because I kept hearing people talk about how easy they were to cheese in this game. When I went to look at discussions on the ending that I got. And I found a channel named Tyrannicon who has some of the dumbest and most amazing cheese for the bosses in this game. And I had no idea some of them were that easy to kill. And it was hilarious to watch somebody just destroy them. I won't spoil anything, but there was one boss that he took down in 31 seconds. Wow. And I was like, if I had known you could do this. And then the other one is Lobos Jr. We've talked about it a couple times before. Great streamer. Streams a bunch of From's games. Notice I'm not calling them the Soul series because Sekiro is not a Souls game. He put up a run. I haven't watched it because I hadn't finished the game. I didn't want to watch any of the speed runs until I'd beaten the game. But he put up a run with no attacks. That is all about, like, he is not allowed to attack and has to kill them all enemies by deflecting until their posture's broken. And I really want to watch that run. I'm really excited to start watching that because that sounds crazy to me. I struggled so hard to beat the game with attacking anytime I could, and Lobos beat it in like 6 hours without attacking once.
That's crazy.
So, all right, though. I guess with that, we can call podcast episode 101, What Do You Do With Your Hands, to finale. Not letting you live that one down, Pat.
Hey, at least I was able to say that. I feel like I want to apologize real quick for not being so talkative. Like, my voice is going even more now. My throat is killing me, so that's why I've been kind of really quiet.
You're good, man. Andrew was asleep for the first half and woke up for the second half.
I came in full force for the second half.
Oh, but it felt really good to be back on the podcast. I missed it really badly last week.
We missed you really badly.
I appreciate that. We'll be back tomorrow with DS2 Mauler Rules and maybe some Katana Zero. We'll be back Thursday with Super Robot Wars T, Choose Our Units, where you guys get to choose our units. By the way, did you guys want to vote, Andrew, Pat, on a unit that we have to use?
I need to actually, like,
For
start
what?
watching a little bit more.
For Super Robot Wars T?
I watched a little bit, but as long as you're using one Cowboy Bebop character, I'm good.
Okay.
Is there any crossbow?
Yes.
Whoa, what?
Yeah. Tobiah and Kincaid are both in the game.
Part of the reason I haven't been watching is because I'm gonna get the game.
Yeah,
so
I
really
understand.
don't want to I don't want to spoil anything for myself.
That's fair. I don't blame you.
Play Kincaid because he reminds me of us.
Okay, we'll take the vote for Kincaid. He is very reminiscent of somebody else. Also, completely unrelated, you get 2 F91s in that game. They give you an F91, and then later on, another character shows up in an F91. It's not Harrison, I'm sorry. And they go, hey, I guess we just have a second F91 now. Because they're like, hey, you probably have a bunch of UC pilots that aren't in anything cool. Give them an F91.
I need to get a master grade F91.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll take those votes down. One for Spike, and because he's the only Cowboy Bebop unit so far that I've gotten, and one for Kincaid now.
When are these votes being tallied?
I have them all tallied on a docket for the stream.
Vote for Kincaid.
Well, right now we still have enough open slots that you only have to vote. Like, one vote is enough. But if we get to the point where there's not a lot of slots, then we'll have to start balancing it out. But if you are watching this podcast and not watching the streams because you, like Pat, want to play the game yourself, but would like to vote for a unit, we've already had some votes come in from the VODs comments, so please comment in the comment section down below and let us know what unit you would like to see us use, because most missions in the game have 18 to 25 deployment slots. Most.
That's
not
a lot.
It is, but Pat, I have 35 units I want to use, so it's still not enough.
That might be perfect for me, considering I won't know as many of the characters.
That's true. I think they do a really good job of telling you who the characters are, though, and getting you attached to them. Like, for instance, with Magical Knight Ray Earth, I have to watch that now. I want to finish the game first, so I get it naturally in the game story, right? But yeah. I did not think, like, when I heard Ray Earth was in this game, I was like, I've always heard about Ray Earth, but I don't care about Ray Earth. All 3 of the main characters of Ray Earth are in my main team.
Oh, that's awesome.
I really like them. So I'm looking forward to watching that show. Yeah, and then Friday we're going to finish Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. And if we finish that early enough, then we will start the game that we will be replacing it, which is Pokemon Black 2.
Why?
Because we're working through the list of my top 25 games of all time. And Pokemon Black 2 is on that list. Well, it's in an honorable mention. It's technically number 26, but it's close enough that I want to go ahead and play it. Plus, I'm jonesing for a Pokemon game again. A good Pokemon game.
Pokemon's coming out this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so
Hey, you don't want to outplay your mom, dude.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
And yes, Artaga, we do have the Double Zeta. It's not been voted on yet, though. Think about it.
You vote for King K now.
But after we finish DS2 Mahler rules, that will probably get replaced with Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past or Castlevania Symphony of the Night. For when we don't have a Tuesday game going on.
Two of the best games ever made.
Yeah, following Dark Souls 2. By all means, Artaki, you want to vote for Double Zeta? We'll use the Double Zeta.
You son of a bitch.
How's it going, Will? Yeah, you can vote here. That'd be fine. The other big games that are coming up that I want to get into the stream, so we're gonna have to move through some other games faster, I think, to be able to get them in there. At some point, I really want to do a run of Vanquish. That won't take very long. I want to hit up Red Dead Revolver soon. That won't take very long. And then I really want to do a playthrough of Neo, having beaten Sekiro. I want to go back to Neo. But, you know, in due time. In due time. We'll get through them all. With all the... Oh, and Saturday is Gundam Game Day. We're going to be going back... Retake? We're going to be going back to the PS4 Gundam games this month, since we spent so much time on PS2 Gundam games last month.
New Gundam Breaker.
Which means Gundam Breaker 3, which means Gundam Battle Operation 2, which means Gundam Versus.
Man, that's a game right there.
Which means maybe New Gundam Breaker, because that's about it.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. We might even do a little bit of Super Robot Wars T and just do a map with only Gundam characters. We did that with Super Robot Wars X as well for Gundam Game Day.
Cool.
So until next time, though, unless you guys have any other final thoughts we might have missed. I wish I was smart and cool like Kyle Bossman and could come up with bets that allowed us to have only one person gets the final thoughts, but I'm not. Shout out to the Easy Allies podcast. You should watch it sometime. It's really good.
Wait, did y'all know that Mortal Kombat 11 is coming to the Switch?
Yeah. It does
I heard
not look
bad
great
things.
either.
I heard a lot of bad things.
Should I get it for the meme?
It runs at like 26 frames a second is what I've been told.
Like, I only play Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch. The number one okay.
Only if you play with a fight stick, only handheld mode.
Yes. Look up, dude. Have it propped up with a fight stick. Oh. Oh, I did have one other really cool announcement. If we're not doing this, so we're not super cool, but the other podcast that the Easy Allies do, Frame Trap, they will have Maximilian Dude on there this week.
That's pretty exciting.
Maximilian Dude, known fighting game enthusiast and super cool guy that once retweeted a comment that I had about BlazBlue. So, thanks, Max. So, until next time. literally just about to do the outro. Literally just about to do the outro.
I still don't know where the spider is in my room.
Was that just me?
Yeah, it was just you.
Discord straight up completely hard crashed on me.
Of course it did. Discord has done. Okay. This is a good enough time as any. Until next time, everybody, I have been Trey.
I'm Andrew. I'm awake now.
And I'm Pattrick.
And we've been the Full Spectrum. And remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that life has to offer.
Guys, there's still a spider in my room.
I'm so sorry, Pat. You need to get a cat that'll eat them.
I do. I really do.
The only thing I have to say for the outro is whichever the two of you's turn it is in Civ 6 needs to take your blasted turn.
It's not mine. I did it like 2 days ago.
I can't. There's no way to nudge in there, so I click on it, and I'm like, maybe I just didn't get the Steam notification. And I boot up Civ 6 and go into the game, and then it's like, waiting turn, and I was like, ugh!
Okay, here's the plan.
I keep forgetting to do it because it takes so long for Civ 6.
I'm gonna create a text channel called Civ.
Yes! Yes!
Can we,
So
can
we can
we
do push
also
notifications
continue our
there.
game that we were playing of Civ?
I'm down for that, but I don't think Pat has time tonight. We should probably end the post show so we can talk about this
not
off air.
tonight. Just at some point this
Oh
week.
yeah, I super want to do it. I've been jonesing to play some Civ with somebody else.
Okay, so this is what we do. Every time you're done with your turn in Civ, you put in Civ done, or like and the,
Oh my
the
God,
turn
this is
number.
hideous.
You say that, but we'll actually be able to keep track of this now. So you finish your turn and you put
No,
completed
no,
turn
it's not.
number.
It's not that we'll make you track of it now. I know it's my turn.
But now
the problem isn't that I don't know it's my turn. The problem
Trust
is
me.
it takes forever for Civ to boot up.
This will work, I promise.
Oh, I'm gonna end the stream now. Thanks everybody for coming out. I'll see most of y'all tomorrow. I'm
We were
sure.
still on stream.
Yeah.